Well, the main thing that we all have to fight on, people of goodwill, is to hold back this rollback that President Trump is imposing upon us. And one of the things that I will do is to make sure that people understand that we cannot give up on the language. We are surrendering the language. Woke still matters. It means that you're socially conscious. Black lives still matter. Doesn't mean that other lives don't, but we've got to make sure that people understand Black lives matter too, especially given that Black people were enslaved in this country for 246 years. That cannot be overlooked. So a part of my agenda is to continue to acquire the recognition and the respect for the Black ancestors who were the economic foundational mothers and fathers of the country. To have Slavery Remembrance Day become Slavery Remembrance Month. It is not enough to have a Slavery Remembrance Day, August 20th, by the way, and we'll be commemorating it right here in Houston. We're going to now commemorate Slavery Remembrance Month, and we're bringing in other organizations such as the Masonic Order. They have joined this issue.
Yeah, certainly working to make healthcare accessible, affordable to people who need it. A lot of people in the 18th Congressional District don't have it. Two, affordable housing. You know, people want to live in their homes or in an apartment, but the cost is going up. So affordable housing. Thirdly, economic business and job opportunity. You got to put people in a position to be able to purchase health care or to purchase that home. But it starts with giving them economic business job opportunity. Um, and then I'll add a fourth one to push back on people who would fight against diversity, equity, and inclusion. Because that works to take us back from whence we have come. So a part of my job is to stand up and fight for the people who sent me to DC.
Also, as the ranking member of Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee on the Financial Services Full Committee under the leadership of the Honorable Maxine Waters, I have passed legislation in the House previously to make it a crime to steal a person's loan. Unfortunately, in this country, when you walk into a bank, if you are a person of color and you apply for a loan, you are likely to get a loan that is going to cost you more, and you'll get less money in the loan than a person who is less qualified. You can have a PhD, and a person of a different hue, if you're a person of color, can have a high school education and get a loan that has greater value than the one that you will acquire. Now, this is empirical evidence from our oversight and investigation activities when I was the chairperson of that subcommittee. I also want you to know that we are going to do everything that we can to make sure that freedom of the press is maintained in this country. This president has gone after the press.
Well, just like today, it's important the things that we learn or the information we get from DC, we got to get that information back home. Okay, we have to help to educate and inform to let people know what we are seeing and hearing and experiencing. The more people know, I would like to believe the more that they will be in a better position to fight for themselves and to recognize that we're not fighting alone, that there are people in the city, state, in this country that are fighting some of these same battles. And that when we come together, we are much, much stronger. So that's my job. I'll do what I need to do in DC, but at the same time, it's important for me to be working and engaged with the people in the 18th Congressional District.
Well, you fight every day to achieve these things. You fight by introducing legislation. You fight by marching and protesting. You fight with litigation. We cannot claim there's any one tool that's going to make a difference. We have to use all of the tools in the toolbox. And we will do this with legislation. But if you've got a Congress that won't pass a law because they're all of one hue or one party, excuse me. And then you've got a Senate that won't cooperate because they're of one party, meaning the majority. They're the majority and they won't cooperate. Then all we can do is submit and ask that people know that we have the fight in hand, although it may not get to the president's desk for a signature, and the president wouldn't sign it anyway. But there is one thing that I want to say that's important. I believe that a president who imposes racism, bigotry, hatred, all forms of insidious prevarications into policy is impeachable. And while it may not succeed in the House, it may not succeed in the Senate, we have to let the world know what we think about it. And if we do this, I think it can make a difference. There'll be others who are going to try to follow. And they've got to know that when you take on the causes that this president has, the cause of rolling back the clock, the cause of causing DEI to no longer exist, the cause of making people of color persona non grata, when you take on these causes, then you're going to have a fight. Those who follow need to know that there will be a fight.
Take the time to keep up with what's happening. I know people are trying to put food on their table, stay in their homes or in their apartments. But if you're not aware of the battles that are being fought, the issues that are out there, then you'll wake up one morning and say, what the hell happened? Okay? So read. Get your information from reliable sources like the Houston Defender. Okay? Know what's happening around you. Know what your governmental elected officials are doing or advocating. And then join the fight. Okay? This is not where, as a congressperson, I'm your gladiator and you're in the stands watching. No, come out the stands. Join me on the battlefield and let's fight together. And then when the battle has been fought and the battle has been won, then we can go and sit together in the benches. But until then, don't rely on me to go and slay the dragons while you watch. Okay? Come and join me. Let's slay the dragons together.
We, the people, have to join the fight and not be afraid to say you're woke, not be afraid to say that Black Lives Matter, not be afraid to say I support Latinos who are being evicted from the country unfairly, not be afraid to say that the LGBTQ community is also being treated unfairly. We've got to fight for everybody. We, the people, have to understand that we cannot silo our problems and fight them. We have to bring them all together. United we can, divided we can't.